All right, folks, we're here again. FB&F podcast this week. Joining us is Michael Miro, his little brother Jason Miro, as you know, is our fearless co-host. But Mike's in his sweet streaming studio with us here. We're going to talk a little bit about his team, a little bit about the league, a little bit about his thoughts. Jay, what do you got?
Yes. So the big question of the week for everybody, some big NFL news came across our lives. Was this yesterday? I think what yeah, it was yesterday. JT
Yep,
Yep.
signed to the Colts.
Yesterday
Three
morning.
years, 3 years, 24 million,
3 years.
42 million.
42 million.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wow.
got that in reverse there, kiddo.
Yeah.
That's actually wild.
Yep.
I saw it briefly. I was kind of out and about yesterday. 42 million is actually
Yep.
insane.
The biggest
That's
contract
good
since
for
Nick Chubb.
him.
What's
That's
the
incredible.
Colts record right now?
It's got to be like 2-2.
They're in 2-2. Yeah. They're
2-2.
2-2.
So this is what I think. I think he thought they were gonna be trash. I think he thought you just drafted a rookie quarterback. This team, is in rebuild. I want to get out of here. And he sees that they're competing with some big dogs. And he's saying, you know what? Fine, I'll come home. Just show me the money.
You think
Yeah,
that's what it
but I
was?
think the Colts also were in that same idea though. They're just like, okay, we're probably not going to be the best, but you could see that they are now competing, and Anthony Richardson's actually leading this team. That division is completely open.
Open.
Yeah.
Like you expected the Jaguars to really pull away, but the Jaguars have been kind of disappointing this season. So I mean,
Very strange.
they're in London right now, and they're going to be facing the Bills at 9:30. So I mean, if potentially they can pull off that upset, they've been there already for a week. So this is huge time for the Jags to pull up an upset win against the Bills. Like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen right now. They have that advantage. They've been there for a week.
That's
Is
their home
Jacksonville
field.
2-2 as well?
Let's just look at some standings here. Honestly, let's pull this up real quick.
That's Jacksonville's home field.
Yeah, right.
Actually, they're considered away this game, which is weird because I thought they would
That's
be.
just because the NFL doesn't want to say it's their home field yet.
It's because it's scripted. Come
Yeah, they haven't gone international quite yet.
on.
All right, so the Jaguars are pulling it up. All right. So this is how it runs. So everybody is actually 2-2 that division. Colts, Texans,
That's crazy.
Jaguars, Titans are all 2-2.
Nice.
I'll tell you, not not a league on paper, not a conference on paper that was supposed to be crazy, but
Yeah, the
that
Jaguars
conference
could
is
pull
turning
away.
into an extremely competitive conference.
Wild
Titans
stuff,
are,
but
I think the Titans are good too, man. I mean, I wouldn't say they're great, but like the Titans got
Titans
some
are
names.
the Titans are always good though. They
Yeah.
good coaching brings you a long way, and there's no
Yep.
doubt about that.
Yep.
All right, but big NFL news, literally wild stuff. So obviously that gives a bump to Ben's team. I'm sure he's ecstatic about it. He was here last week and he said he was holding. So
Yeah.
the hold worked
Yeah.
out. Just if you have Jonathan
Unfortunate.
Taylor everywhere, honestly, you're happy. You didn't think he was going to be playing on the Colts all season, so it
Yeah.
happened, and good for everybody out there holding. All right, but let's go.
Do
Yeah,
you
go
play
for it.
him this week?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You just have to, right?
I feel
Absolutely.
like if you are like iffy about playing someone else and you have Jonathan Taylor, like if you needed Jonathan Taylor, put him in. But if you have been surviving, like you are a 3-1 or 4-0 team, and JT was on your bench, I would kind of just like ride it without him this week, see how it goes, and then insert him next week once he, gets a week under his belt.
I
Oh
get
If
no.
you're
go ahead,
I,
go ahead.
I think you
if you're
throw him in. I think you throw him in. He's gonna get a freaking workload of run carries. They're gonna try to see what he has, I think.
I get so torn between running backs and wide receivers. So when a wide receiver is coming back from injury, I'm like, yeah, maybe he doesn't get the deep field explosive plays, but he might just get littered with passes. You just never know. But with running backs, it's like I feel like I just did it in my other league. I was like, you know what? It's a week. I gotta win. I gotta look for big upside. So I played Aaron Jones instead of one of my, RB2, RB3s, RB4s. And and he just put up an egg because he's coming off that hamstring injury. And I just feel like I don't know what it is, but running backs just seem to not come back. Now here's the thing:
Yeah.
was he injured? Was he not? No one really knows the full
Yeah, but he
story.
said yesterday, I did see that as well. He's like, I'm just like happy to be like healthy now. So
I wasn't sure if that was like
Yeah.
a trade stunt. I thought
yeah,
that was a trade stunt.
Yeah.
I thought that was him being like, "Hey, I'm healthy. Like, come get me."
Yeah.
So maybe a lot of people were calling the Colts, and the Colts were like, you know what, we got to just hold this guy. We got to lock him up.
yeah. All
Crazy
right,
stuff.
let's move on to Mike's team here. All right, the big question, Mike, here for you is Anthony Richardson has
Sir.
been amazing, essentially.
Yes.
Drafted him at the 3-7. I'm sure you were kind of nervous kind of going into week one. What are your thoughts now?
I like him. The upside of him is he's a good rushing quarterback. He's big. You see that on the field. He's hard to take down. You can see that people are having a rough time tackling him. You got to tackle him down low. You got to get him by the ankles to get him down. He showed his arm a little bit too, which is really good. Now I think Jonathan Taylor's back. I think should definitely help him a lot more, open up the field for him. So I'm pretty excited. I was a little nervous drafting him up there. I had other opportunities to go get like Dak and everyone else, but it is dynasty, so we got to go young. And like you guys said before, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the draft combine. So
he was the best quarterback in the draft combine ever in NFL history.
Yeah, so
athletically,
from an athletic,
from an athletic
athletic
standpoint, yeah.
profile.
So you know what? I had decided just to run with it, and we'll see what it brings. But I'm pretty excited though.
Kind of looking at his stats right now, he has a rushing touchdown in every game that he's played in. That's pretty incredible. That's what you want to look at. I don't know if I read that statistic before looking at this. You definitely want to get those completions up, but they kind of 11 completions last week, but getting 2 touchdowns, I kind of definitely very seeing them 33 points still, but also want to get some of those yards up to make sure he's consistent quarterback. But the fact that this was his first 3 starting career games is actually ridiculous, though. Yeah, there's nothing but absolute potential.
Yeah, and like I said, with Jonathan Taylor coming back, that's got a lot of better dump offs to him as well. So you should see that.
Right now,
you see
QB
that go up a little
16.
bit. Yeah,
amazing. What are we thinking, Austin?
I got 3. First, just look under his name. 21, 6'4", 244 pounds.
Yeah.
Like that's the dream. It's literally the dream.
Yep.
But I got 2 questions for you, Mike. If Jay, if you scroll to the right a little bit, his issue in college was like accuracy.
Oh.
Yeah. His issue in college was like accuracy and potentially like throwing up some threat balls, like maybe too many interceptions. What do you think about 1 interception thus far? Is he going to hold this? Is he going to hold this consistency, or is this something that you're worried about moving forward?
I think the Colts are playing to his advantage. I think they're running the offensive pretty well around him. They're not. If you watch like a couple of games, he doesn't. He throws a couple of deep balls to like Josh Downs and stuff, who's a fast receiver. So maybe you take a couple of risks, but I guess you got to take a couple of risks. It's an NFL. You got to make that big play. But from what I've seen so far, I think they pretty much they're holding him accountable and short throws, slants, hitches, and they're just. I think they're running a good offense around him. They're not trying to make him force the ball, a lot. And if he doesn't feel comfortable, he's just taking off.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that you make the absolute perfect point is that the coaching staff is catering to his needs. Yeah. I think it's been cool to see his like cool demeanor. Like he's just so confident on the field.
Yeah, the swag is there.
In my opinion, I mean, I like CJ Stroud as well. CJ Stroud's coming out like a champ as well, but I think both of them have like just this absolutely cool demeanor, but then you throw that ability to make mistakes, get over the hurdle, but this guy runs. You know what I mean? That's just like it just totally separates the 2 of them because of the way that we all understand fantasy football. My second question is this: he's already gotten out for a concussion. You got a 4 or 5 year window with everybody. Like you draft a young quarterback, you're saying, hey, I'm giving you a 4 or 5 year window to prove it, to prove that you're my guy. That's normally what we're doing when we're drafting these young guys. Yeah. So what is the health concern? Do you have a health concern? Do you have thoughts of like RG3, Cam Newton?
Nah, I personally don't. That play where he got hit, that was his own fault. You go down there, you go down there. I think he learned that now. Going to slide a little bit more, protect yourself a little bit. He like I said, he's a big guy, so he likes the contact. You know, he wants to lower his
Yeah.
shoulder and get those extra yards. But I think the coaches would talk to him like, "Hey, listen, you know, your value to this team can't be taken. It's like that. You know, if you have the opening, take it. But if not, slide. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you
on the
seen
play.
him slide? I haven't seen him slide. Have you seen
Yeah,
him
me
slide?
either.
I haven't seen him slide. The only thing I've seen him done is run out
of.
of bounds. That's it.
Yeah.
Run out of bounds
Hopefully,
or lower his shoulder and take those hits. You know.
yeah, hopefully he doesn't have a Daniel Jones problem. That kid cannot. Well,
He can't
recently he's
slide.
been able to slide, but his first couple of years he did not know how to slide.
No, he dove headfirst everywhere. That was scary.
Holy moly!
Slides second base there.
Let's hit that next point, Jay.
Yes, sir. Well, I have one question for all of you. If we are redrafting today, Anthony Richardson is obviously a first round pick and startup.
Oh yeah,
super flex leagues, right?
Oh yeah.
I think it goes.
Now,
look at
go ahead, Mike.
look at
Mike,
the
what do you
summary.
think the order is? What do you think the order is? Like 1 to 10. What do you think the order is? Where does Anthony Richardson fall, and who shows up before him?
Well, let's pull it
Let
up
me
right
see.
here.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up.
Let's see where he.
Because if you look at his
go.
look at his game stats, he's been top 5 QB the past 4 weeks. You know, he was QB2 last week, QB4 the first week. All right, so I think it definitely goes Mahomes, Hurts.
Yeah,
it definitely goes Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Herbert, Tua. Tua should be up there now the way he's playing. Tua has to be up there the way he's playing right now. Brock Purdy has to be up there. Brock Purdy.
Now I'm taking Anthony Richardson over Brock Purdy 10 times.
So I was gonna go Anthony Richardson after that, but maybe we switch that. Maybe you go Anthony Richardson, then Brock Purdy.
So you're saying that you want Anthony Richardson over Joe Burrow?
Oh, 100% right now, yes.
100%. Austin, feelings,
100%.
thoughts?
I'm gonna have to say Patrick, Allen, Hurts. Then it starts to get a little bit touchy. So
I think Herbert is undoubtedly.
I think Herbert's over there, up there too.
And this tier 1 for me, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I call it a tier 1. I think I got to put those 3. Then I'll put Herbert in like his own bubble, and then it's this, mishmash of Jackson, Burrow,
Tua,
and Richardson.
What about Lamar? Did you say Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
I said Lamar. I said Lamar.
And you got
what about Justin Fields? What is your?
No, I think he falls outside of that by a little bit. I think he falls outside of that cluster by a little bit until he's got to be more consistent for me. I mean, these last 2 weeks have been good, but for me,
it's
like
the same thing. I know we're not talking about Justin Fields today, but he did the same thing last year, dude.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the screen right here. After week 4, boom.
Check out the end of the season, though.
Yeah.
It goes back down.
It goes back down. Who cares?
They had injuries, though. They had injuries.
The Bears probably gave up. But all right, we're not talking about Justin Fields today. But I would agree. I think he.
I think
he falls top.
Here's a good
Richardson over Justin Fields.
Here's a good statement. Right now, the top 10 quarterbacks are a lot closer than they were before the season.
Yep. And there's people trying to get into the top 10 quarterbacks that it's all fumbled. Like I think we definitely feel a little bit better about some quarterbacks kind of going in, and like CJ Stroud at the 6'2".
You could throw him in there.
What are we doing? Insane. All right. Moving on to the next question here. All right, Mike, you made a trade in this league probably 2 weeks ago for Brock Purdy, the man himself that you were trying to crown in the first round here. Let's break this down, because guess what? We actually have both of the parties in this trade here. So let's hear from you guys. How did this go down? How did we land at Brock Purdy for a first, second, and a third? And Austin, you also sent over a 5th round pick. So how do we get here? How do we feel about it? And what is Brock Purdy's outlook moving forward?
Mike, you want to start?
All right, so we got here from literally the day since we drafted. Austin's been nagging me to take one of his quarterbacks. He's been trying to get me to get Pickett. I'm not a big Pickett fan. I told him, I was like, if anyone that I wanted would be Purdy, I would want to take I'll take the risk on him, a 7th round freaking draft pick, the last pick in the freaking draft. Why not? Tom Brady, freaking. Maybe you could do what Tom Brady did, But so far he's been playing pretty well. I needed a quarterback. Had, as you guys can see, I didn't draft really anyone after Anthony Richardson. I tried to go wide receiver and running back heavy. I needed a quarterback to kind of help my team out a little bit, and I hit Brownie up, and I was like, all right, let's make a deal for Purdy. And he was pretty ecstatic that someone was coming for one of his quarterbacks, and he's been playing well. We've been going back and forth with the first round in there and stuff like that, and we both looked at the options. We both weighed our options out, and I said, you know what, this is a fair trade. It's definitely a fair trade to throw a first rounder in for Brock Purdy. He's been playing lights out. If he keeps continuing, I pan out on that.
Yeah, I think the idea was I wasn't gonna get rid of Purdy without getting a first round incentive to some degree.
Yeah.
And in my mind,
100%.
Purdy was worth 2 first rounds. So I fell down a little bit. Mike came up a little bit from where he was at. I came down a little bit from where I was at. In my mind, 2024 is a pretty solid draft class. I don't have any 24 firsts. So I double up my 24 seconds. I double up my 25 firsts. I get an extra little tail bit of 25. The original deal was going to be Purdy and those 3. Mike wasn't feeling comfortable, so I was like, fine. I'll meet you even a little bit more at a 2024 fifth. And that was enough to get it over the hill. So for me, I did not need 4 quarterbacks. For me, Kyler Murray's going to come back. He's going to be an above average quarterback at some point.
He's going somewhere else.
You'll see. And listen, if it's not
have you seen the reports this week? Because I hope you have.
That's all right. That's okay. I don't need him to be a Cardinal. I promise you, I do not need him to be a Cardinal, because the Cardinals are not the reason that he was a stud on the football field. Because that coaching staff that he's had, the 2 coaching staffs that he's had, have been trash. So he does not need. You know what would be the ultimate dream for me? Falcons. Please go to the Falcons. That would be the dream.
That would be
the dream.
That would be awesome.
So I think
the guy loves to run.
I think he's going there or the Raiders.
Raiders would be fine too. Let's put him with stud wide receivers like Jacoby Myers and our boy. Right? Let's put him somewhere. Let's just put him somewhere that's already established, because that's where he needs to go.
I will say, going back to Brock Purdy, though, this is the Austin way. He hoards quarterbacks and he wants people to trade for them, and it always works out. So he's
it worked out.
All
it worked
the
out.
time.
The weeks of nagging and the weeks of wagging, the weeks of nagging definitely.
Listen, you gotta will these things into existence.
Yeah.
This is what he does. Austin's a nagger, and then he just gets it.
Hey, super flex. We know this. Super flex.
It's
someone at some point.
You do it exactly. And with injuries and stuff always happening, you're always going to need that quarterback.
Yep.
So.
And I needed it. I put my trust in Riddler. He did fine the first week for me.
Yeah, Riddler definitely. Let's go to Riddler here. Not looking good. QB 28 of the season. That is 6 points 2 weeks ago. 8 points the week after that.
I mean, the first 2 weeks were okay, but
he's definitely good to just have though. Now he's your QB3. You definitely always need a QB3. Just kind of have for bye weeks and stuff. So I mean, he's there, but you're not wrong. Going into a season with him as your QB2 is not pretty.
No. So I needed to make a move desperately, and Austin agreed on something, and
well,
I think I like Purdy. So
Brock Purdy's super underrated. QB 13 of the season, and I think that's where he needs to stay. I think this is his lane that he needs.
The trade works both ways. It really does, because Mike needed a second Q that was going to be consistent, and my team, though it is performing right now, it is still a 1-year punt. That is how I built my team. So
I love it.
I'll take the capital.
I do like it. I'm happy that Mike didn't trade any of his 24 first. I think
he was pretty consistent with that.
I think that was pretty big for me for him. That's good. I think that was the key to getting a second quarterback. Keep those 2 first round picks, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, he tried to get his pick back. He tried to get his pick back.
I'm sure.
I wasn't letting up.
Well, I figured
All
with
right,
the 4-0 start, my pick is not so attractive.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
all right. Moving on to another person on your team that's kind of been polarizing. So very similar to last year. Are you in and out on Javonte Williams? What's going on with that?
You know, it's up in the air with him. You know, when he's healthy, he's I feel like he's gonna be good, but he's just been
But has he been healthy?
he hasn't
That's the
been
real
healthy.
question.
You know, I don't know. Maybe they brought him back a little too early from his injury. You know, I think they should have probably waited, like did like a little Jonathan Taylor thing, and waited till week 5. You know, to start playing him. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he might have.
He might
Yeah,
have just
he hasn't even eclipsed
no,
double-digit points
no,
at all this season.
no, he hasn't.
He
No,
might
he
have.
hasn't.
He might have. J.K. Dobbins himself. Just
Yeah,
really eager, really excited, super competitive, and just came back too early. So, but here's the thing, though, is like his attempts are pretty high for a guy who just came off of what it just came off of. So it's like
I will say that as well.
yeah,
And he's getting targets.
so
yeah. I mean,
the idea is that they definitely want him to be involved. I think not to your advantage for this year, but what I think they need to do is cool him down a little bit.
yeah,
Find that he's comfortable. Wait until the bye week to
yep,
really unleash him.
I
Like if
agree.
he's not getting it done by week 10, week 11, week 12, then he's just a running back for next year's team.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's doubtful for this game
Just
though coming
game
up
time
for
decision.
this week.
Yeah. But like that, I think
So,
that they shouldn't push that. Like they
Yeah.
have a bye week in 4 weeks. They should let him feel comfortable when not only when he feels comfortable, when the trainers say like that they are comfortable with him working.
Yeah,
Because again, this might just be an uber competitive guy
yeah,
who doesn't realize what his body really needs. He's
no,
23 years old. He's young. He just wants to be the man. He
yeah,
knows he's the man. When he has the ball, he's amazing. So it's
his
just
rookie
tough.
season was ridiculous. Breaking
yeah.
Yeah.
tackles, he
Oh
looked
yeah.
good. But
Oh yeah.
where I like
Where are you?
I'm
Come
sure we're
back.
not watching Broncos game like all season, but like even when you're even like looking for like highlights and stuff, he doesn't just pop off the screen anymore. Javonte Williams popped off that screen his rookie year.
Yeah,
So
but the thing too, I think that's not working for him as well is that the Broncos are always down, so they're not running at the
that
ball.
is
So
very, very, very true.
they're trying to play catch up. If they want him to succeed, they need to be ahead. They need to be running the ball first, second down. Do what he did with his rookie season. Give him the ball. But they're down so much they don't have a chance to run the ball, which I think is it's hurting him
Yeah,
and it's
they're
it's hurting
definitely like
everything.
I'm sure they're trying, but I mean,
Yeah,
before you even got here, Austin said the Broncos are the worst team in the NFL right now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean,
They need a
it's not
defense.
good. They
Yeah,
they need a lot of things,
yeah,
and
It's crazy
it's
because
crazy.
on paper they look good.
Yeah, they do
yes,
with that wide receiver core they got, and then you got Russell Wilson back there. And Javonte Williams and P Ryan, who's also a great running back too that they got. You would think that they'd be close in games, but their defense has let them down.
At the end of
Definitely,
the day, football is a team sport, and when
Yep,
any individual makes it about themselves,
yep, it's
it's not
over.
a team.
Yep,
all right,
agreed.
all right. Moving on here, moving on. So just kind of a big overall view here now of your team. What are you thinking playoff wise? Are you in or are you out?
I think I'm out. I
You're
think I'm
out. He
out.
says he's
Yeah,
out. Okay.
I think
The
I'm out.
confidence of the out.
I think I'm out. My team is it's a little thin. I've been talking to like Austin stuff. We went during that trade. I was trying to get like a wide receiver as well. Trying to see if we could do something with that because I'm hurting there a little bit. My running backs, I think my running backs are okay. They got to perform. We need Saquon back. We need
Yes.
Saquon.
And Saquon's not supposed to be
Desperately.
back today, unfortunately.
His game time decision today apparently too. So and then, like I said, I have P Ryan. Zeke I could throw in there. He's starting today with what's his name out. So
Stevenson?
yeah,
Ramondre Stevenson's not out.
no, I thought it was a game time decision, isn't it? He might be
Mm-mm.
out. No, he's in. Oh,
No.
all right,
He's good to go.
all right.
At least that I know of.
All
I
right.
still think Elliott's a good play. I just think they're going to use him on the goal line. I think that's just
Yeah,
going to be his role for the rest of his career.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need AJ Dillon to start performing. I need Charbonnet to start picking up the pace a little
AJ
bit.
Dillon.
AJ Dillon, he always kills me every year.
No, AJ
Every
Dillon's
year
dead.
and everything.
It definitely
Trying to
should be
make some
interesting
moves.
with it should be interesting what Damian Pierce does moving forward. Obviously the Texans are moving up,
Yeah, they are.
So
They are.
hopefully
They are.
the running game definitely does improve. He has not been the best this season. Like just looking around, like not great for sure. But I mean, also JaMarr Chase having a down season because the Bengals are
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
For my vantage point, I think you have some great pieces, but you really do need people to start kind of producing to their name. It's just.
I'm in the
But
works. I'm in the works right now to get other pieces. So
I think you're
stay tuned.
fighting. I think you're fighting for a 6th playoff spot. I don't know if you're gonna get it, but I mean, you're definitely like there. Especially if Anthony Richardson keeps it up and Brock Purdy stays consistent.
Yeah, and if
Like
those
you
two,
got some names. You got some names
exactly.
here.
I agree. If those two keep doing what they're doing, I think I'll be okay. If Saquon comes back and is Saquon and does what he has to do,
Yeah.
and Damian Pierce plays well, and if JaMarr Chase comes back better than what he's been, I think I'll be okay.
If JaMarr and Goddard, play to their potential, for what are we in week 5?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think if they get to their potential by week 7 and you can find yourself on like a little streak, then you're going to make the playoffs this year. But it's going to depend. Like, it's going to depend on when you want to strike the iron. Like, if you start trading now and those trades, weaken your team a little bit, but increase your future, then you'll end up being a 1-year punt. But if those trades maybe give you a little bit more depth and, the question mark about, like we said, Chase, like we said, Goddard, maybe Josh Downs turns it up a little bit more. Maybe Drake London turns it up a little bit more. If about 4 pieces figure out what they're supposed to be doing, then you could probably compete with nearly anybody.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Drake London started playing better last week. They started giving him the targets that he needed.
Touchdown machine now. Two touchdowns in 2 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So hopefully
not 2 straight weeks. I missed a week.
Bad information.
But I thought he did. I thought he did score last week, but it was the week before.
Oh no, no. Well, he almost scored 2 last week, but it was
almost scored 2. Yes.
Yeah.
He got pushed out of the back of the end zone.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unfortunately watching the Toy Story version, so I didn't see anything. ESPN Plus is so dim.
Nope, I agree. So if they keep giving him the targets, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see. I mean, you definitely have pieces, and once again, you have 224 first, which comes in handy. The beauty about this is dynasty, so you don't have to win this season. I know we all want to win this season. That is obviously the goal out here, but I think you're setting yourself up for some success here. So that's important.
Yeah. I got the 2 quarterbacks, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, so we asked this question last week as well. Who do you think are the teams to beat? There seems to be 2 teams to beat.
The teams to beat right now are definitely Pat and Jose.
Pat and Jose. I feel like that's just always going to be the consistent answer.
Yeah, it's always going to be Pat and Jose. Pat's team is just. I mean, I got lucky last week and I beat him, so yeah.
You did get lucky, Pat.
Let's go.
Pat put up an ultimate stinker last week.
Yeah, he did.
Let's review this really quick for the people out.
Dude.
I needed that win too.
It's totally health. Like he's going to be a back end of the year problem.
Yeah.
I don't know why this isn't working. Unfortunately, that's so weird.
Oh, that's you.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's not going to week 4, but that's weird. But anyways, Pat put up 87 points. It was not. It was not pretty. So
no.
I'm sorry.
It's just tough. He doesn't have either one of his. Patrick was also though he has Tyreek Hill and though he has the quarterbacks, he was a very running back heavy team, and his running backs are shot right now.
Yeah, they are.
Keep trying to click. Click on
this thing. It's not working. But he did lose.
Jay, who you direct messaging up there?
What are you talking about?
Go back to your main screen. Who you?
No, that's
what's going on there.
No. These are all trade talks. No one's seen any of that. But yeah, I feel like those are consistent names. Obviously, Pat definitely took a big hit with the whole Nick Chubb thing. Eckler's still out, but Aaron Jones put up a stinker last week. So, but he's still up there. Yeah. All right, moving on to actually the NFL. Mike, if you had to pick an upset of the week, who are you going with this week?
Upset of the week. All right, let's see the schedule.
Tell you what, if you pick the Giants like Ben did last,
No, that's not
Ben
happening.
picked the Giants last week and they
It's
got
not happening.
absolutely steamrolled. Are
Upset
we
of the week.
surprised?
I think we go with the Cardinals over the Bengals.
Cardinals over the Bengals.
Cardinals
All
over the
right.
Bengals, man. Josh Downs has been looking good. He's
Dobbs.
just
Josh Dobbs is
Josh Dobbs. Yeah, Josh Dobbs. You know, the he's just, well, I forget what he majored in, but whatever he does, dude, is just all calculations. I feel like he's doing out there. You know, he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He knows what he has to do, and he's tough, man. I think he's out there trying to prove people wrong. You know, that he should be an NFL starter out there, and I like that grit from him. You know.
Yeah, if the
That's
Cardinals
a good
actually beat
pick.
the Bengals, if the Cardinals actually beat the Bengals today, like I mean, it can happen. Cardinals at home, Bengals not looking great. The
They're
Bengals
not
have to
looking
figure
great.
out what's going on. If the
Yeah,
Bengals lose this game, starting the season off as 1-4, that would be absolutely tragic. I mean,
yeah.
it's not far off though. Like
It's horrible.
the fact that I'm even like saying like, wow, the Cardinals can upset the Bengals right now is not good.
I know. And
Like
you know what?
who?
I was thinking of my when I picked too with JaMarr Chase. I was like, oh, the Bengals are going to be nasty this year. You know, he definitely could be a break records in the wide receiver
Oh,
department there this year.
100%.
You know, and
I was
it's
so big on
just
JaMarr Chase this season.
so
I
It's
it's
so
go
so
crazy.
devastating.
it's so
The
devastating,
whole
dude. So
the whole
devastating.
team right now. It's just
Yeah.
so
It's just
devastating.
it is.
Yep. And
It's
There's
one of
not good. It's
no,
not good for
not,
no,
fantasy football.
I was
no,
about
it's
to
not.
say it is
It's
not good
not.
for fantasy football
It's
at
not.
all. It
One of
is
my leagues,
awful for fantasy
one of my
football.
leagues, I drafted Joe Burrow and JaMarr Chase.
Oh,
You
what
know,
are you?
I got
Where are you in that league? Are you 1-3?
I am 1-3 in that league.
Oof.
And I benched Joe Burrow the past 2 weeks, and I've started actually Jordan Love, who I got as a backup. So it's been helping, but it's been hurting as well, you know.
No,
So
exactly. You know, you draft Joe Burrow to be your
yeah,
quarterback one in redraft leagues. Like
yeah,
it
Yeah.
sucks. It sucks that that's happening. I mean, I'm
yeah,
very happy I don't have them anywhere, and I'm not feeling any of this
Yeah.
pain. But
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough for sure.
What is undervalued and what is underappreciated is Joe Burrow's been injured every single preseason of
yep,
his professional career.
yes, he has.
So like we know he's a baller, but like is he all right?
But he
Like
always bounced back. Like they
he
always
does, he
have a tough.
has.
They always
This
have
is
a
the
bad
this is the
first
worst start though.
stretch
This
here.
is the
Yeah, it
worst
is.
start.
He came back too early. Came
Yeah.
back way too early.
Yeah.
Came back way too early. They rushed him for week one. You could tell when he was even in like trying to throw off his back foot. You could tell too, like he wasn't.
Couldn't drive.
He's not Joe Burrow. Yeah, there's no drive to it. Even trying to run, you could tell he's so hesitant about it. You know,
Yep.
Oh, he
he's
doesn't run
thinking about it.
regardless, and the fact
Yeah, he
that
doesn't
he
run
even
regardless.
it
Yeah,
just
you know.
it's just
Yeah.
bad news bears out here.
Yeah. You know, too early. That's the thing. You know,
Yeah.
people coming back way too early. They gotta like. I like what I don't know. You guys saw what JaMarr Chase said this week about T Higgins. You know, he told him, "Listen, you listen to your body. You know, you're young. Don't try to force yourself to come back." He's like, "We got your back as a team." You know. He goes,
JaMarr
Yeah.
Chase told that to Joe Burrow too, literally
Yeah,
in the
I
preseason.
know.
He was like, "I hope he sits out a couple weeks. Like we don't
Yeah,
need him right now." And
exactly.
then what happened?
You know,
Not
JaMarr
anything
Chase,
good.
yeah, he's looking at the long picture. You know, they could
He
win a Super
is.
Bowl. You know, they
He
could win a Super
wants to
Bowl
win.
if they you know, if all their pieces are healthy. I think that team can do it, but they just got to be healthy, and they're not right now.
Well,
And
their offensive line has always been the biggest weakness on
Trash.
that team,
Yeah.
and they are like they went to the Super Bowl with an absolute horrid offensive
Yeah.
line, and they said they picked up some more pieces this year. I don't know if people are getting hurt. I'm not like really into that deep until the Bengals offensive line and their players and stuff like that, but it is just their pressure rate is absolutely one of the worst in the league.
No, it's not the
Yeah.
Giants'.
It's just crazy.
Don't get it wrong.
Yeah, one of the worst. One of the worst. So the guy has no time. If you have
No,
no time,
it
any
doesn't.
quarterback is going to absolutely fail. So
Yeah.
it's just not looking pretty.
Yeah.
All right, last question of the day. Mike, one player you're watching this week, fantasy, NFL, real life. Like, who you feeling this week?
Well, for our sake, I'm literally watching heavily how Brees Hall does today.
Brees Hall, baby. Woo-hoo. Woo!
I'm literally watching how heavy Brees, how he's not on a trick on
Full
an
workload.
account. Yeah, he's not an account no more. Salah said
I
he's
love
not an
that.
account.
That's a great pick.
Feed the man the ball today, please, so we know what we're doing with him in our fantasy league, please.
Yeah, no, Brees Hall's got to score a tutty today. He's
Yeah,
scoring.
we need him.
100%.
We need him to perform. We need him to perform for our sakes. But
you betting on it? You betting on it?
Oh, I think I'm gonna bet on it. I think now you said that, I think I'm gonna create so I did a running back parlay. All right, now we're moving to betting here. I did a running back parlay last week, and the only one that didn't hit was Javonte Williams because he got hurt. That stupid idiot.
Yeah, and he was looking good last week too to start. He was looking.
He got hurt so early. I did DeAndre Swift, James Cook, Derrick Henry, and Javonte Williams. That's gold right there, baby.
That is gold right there. But no, I think Brees Hall gets the ball. This week. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I think they're going to feed him the ball more. And also I'm looking out for JaMarr Chase too. After what he said too. He said, "Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Let me show you what I can do with the ball." I think they're going to give him the ball a lot this week. I think they're going to start creating a lot of screens for him or something.
Put the ball in his hands. Why not?
He said, "Give me the ball. Let me help this team out. Let me put the team on my back. Let me show you what I can do."
I'm always open. That's what he says.
Yes. And he is. And he is. He is. You see him with his hand up all the time. He's like, "Give me the rock." He could jump. He can jump. He has hops. You trust him. That's one guy you want to trust. It's either him or Justin Jefferson. You could trust doing that.
Crazy stuff.
All right, brothers. Well, that's it. Just a quick preview of what the week's going to kind of look like. Pretty wild that. One thing just to kind of end on, DJ Moore with 52 points, 51 points already to start the week. That's awesome. Good job, Hangley.
For real.
If you're starting with 51 points to start the week for one player, you're feeling good about a dub. Feeling really good about a dub.
Absolutely.
All right, but that's all we have here today. Mike, thank you for joining us. Austin, any departing words?
No, boys, we're getting into the thick of it in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We're gonna really know what the standings are.
Yep.
So you guys better figure your stuff out, baby.
Oh, you're gonna see what's coming on the pipeline. Don't worry. You're gonna be happy. Watch, I'm making moves.
Mike's always
be careful of this guy.
I'm making moves here. Also, everyone, check me out on all platforms. Big Papi Chulo 324.
Papi Chulo.
Wow, look at the sponsorship. Second week in a row out here. That's pretty...
Jay, we're not getting paid here. What's going on?
Hey, if I get bigger, you guys could pan out. We could, Big Papi Chulo can sponsor you guys,
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Check the boy out.
We could do a rookie draft in Vegas or something,
That would be wild. All right.
Way less.
Look out for us next week. We'll figure out who's going to be on the pod talking some football with the boys. But like always, we appreciate support. Have a good and healthy Sunday fun day today. Yep. And I hope I beat Mike this week. But see you later, boys.
All right, boys. Thanks. Take care.